So if you think the world is fucked and that we're heading towards civilizational collapse, I have a book for you to read. It's called The Long Descent by John Michael Greer. So Greer says that Western civilization is really fixated on two myths about what the future is going to be. One is the myth of eternal progress. That one says that we are going to be able to invent and innovate our way out of any problems and that we can solve everything and our destiny is among the stars and colonizing all the other planets. The other one is apocalypticism, which is that everything's going to fall apart, civilization's going to collapse, and people are just going to be at each other's throats, and it's going to be all dog eat dog and just a horrible meat grinder. Kind of think like Cormac McCarthy's The Road. Now, the first one is unfortunately not true. I'd love to think that we could have eternal progress and be like a Carl Sagan going out into the stars and stuff. But unfortunately, we know a lot of our ecological problems in the world that are happening right now are because of our growth-based economies. And for us to keep having all of this like high-level technological innovation that gets us to the stars, we would need to continue growing and consuming resources. And so that's not sustainable, and it's probably not going to work for us. But the apocalypticism one is also kind of silly. Greer points out that civilizations have a life cycle. They go up and they reach a certain pinnacle and then they decline over a period of time. So when you talk about like Mayan civilization or like the ancient Greek civilization, all of them rose and all of them fell. They all do this. Now, we have risen a lot higher than the civilizations before us, so our decline might be a lot steeper, but the point still stands. We are not exempt from history. Just like you're not exempt from the rules of life and death, civilizations aren't exempt from the rules of decline and fall. Now, when these civilizations eventually do fall and at the end collapse, the people that were living in them don't all just die. They create something new out of it. If you look at you can find a really cool GIF online of the way that the Chinese civilization has grown and expanded. And we think of Chinese civilization as this ancient thing, but actually it's run through just hundreds, if not thousands of iterations where it grows and then it shrinks and different people conquer one dynasty and then that dynasty collapses. And it's just been this constantly changing process throughout all of history. Greer argues that we split the difference between these two myths and understands that we are going to have to go through some sort of decline and that we are going to have to survive it, but it is survivable and there are things that we could start learning and focusing on to make our lives and our communities better so that we would be able to weather this sort of decline and then eventually build something better out of it.